Do you see, my gorgeous Scorpioni? Sometimes we just have to do things that we maybe don't want to do, don't like doing, maybe don't feel like doing. And this is specifically, I'm talking about the very important and the necessary conversation that you are going to need to have with someone this September, this September 2021, because most certainly it's going to help you so much to kind of remove yourself from the situation that no longer serve you. But most importantly, it's going to help you to adjust and readjust your life by actually making that important readjustment, by cut something out of your life, because karmically something came to an end. Something came to an end. And when I say that karmically something came to an end, my gorgeous Scorpioni, this is the time when you need to open your eyes. This is the time when you need to follow your own intuition. This is the time when you need to kind of ignore lots of advices around you and just follow your own bliss, follow your own path. And the best way to follow your own spiritual path is to actually focus on the perspective, focus on your intuition, and most importantly, deal with the situation and the problem that's involving some other person. And this is so important, I repeat, and I wouldn't normally find this so significant, but because karmically something like the certain stage and the period of your life slowly came to an end, and now it's dragging so much, and it's having an effect on you having a very heavy footsteps, that you need to make. And there is something very simple that you need to do. And this is the conversation that I'm saying that you should be having. This is with somebody very important that you may not like, that you may not kind of appreciate, that you may not find kind of comfortable around. But it's to do with an important karma coming to an end. And this is all about you stepping into a new direction and releasing this annoying karma that no longer serve you. It makes you like you are having so much on your back. It makes you like you are it's very difficult to move, when just basically one little conversation is literally going to change everything. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know which person I'm talking about? Don't worry, because at around the 17th of September 2021, this is all going to be clear. So this conversation is going to change everything, but most importantly, by the time you get to the last part of September, the 29th and the 30th of September, now this is the big mama that I'm talking about. On one hand, you're going to remove yourself from this devilish person and devilish situation, but then on another hand, a whole new world awaits you. My name is Sasha Bonasin, and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you, my gorgeous Scorpio, for you, my gorgeous Scorpioni, and it's for September 2021. I love you so much, my Scorpioni, but you need to understand that this month it's more important than ever to keep your eyes open, because the idea that you are going to have, it's most certainly going to at the same time provide you with an information that you wouldn't normally have. So it's about the idea, but also about the fact, so important to actually trust yourself, because it's going to be a little bit of a tricky situation that is going to happen at around this particular time that I'm talking about. It's the first day that is going to be really important. It's going to be the 1st of September. The 1st of September, the 2nd of September, it's going to be just as important, and the 3rd of September, everything is kind of going to be clear. But the actual idea that I'm talking about, you will know what this is, because at the same time, something will kind of prevent you to move on. Something will almost immediately kind of manifest around you and going to become the part of your mind which is just going to kind of slow you down. And this is why that person that you need to kind of come to terms with something and talk about something so significant, everything is going to be clear and everything is going to be so connected. But most importantly, going back to the actual first 3 days of September, just remember that, you're going to have an idea. And how you gonna know what this idea is, It could really seem to you like really big, it could seem to you like really tiny, but one thing is going to be like a pretty much so overpowering. Something is almost immediately gonna kind of slow you down and make you think and make you feel like you can't do it. So at this little level of negativity, it's actually gonna be your yin-yang moment, because this is going to work in your favor, because you will know that this is the idea that you need to pay attention to. And do not think negative. Do not block yourself down. Do not slow yourself down, because you, my gorgeous Scorpioni, are one of the signs that are having such a powerful energy when it comes to not only your intuition, but when it comes to your powerful manifestation. And in babies, it works both ways. Okay, so that's why in order to release yourself from the negativity and shift yourself, you just ignore this like, ooh la la, this moment that you're gonna have, no, I can't do this. No, something is just gonna come to you and it's just gonna try to block you and prevent you. But at the same time, within the first 3 days of September, this is something that you need to remember, because you are still caterpillar at that very moment in time. You're like a little caterpillar, okay? And you are gonna become butterfly. But while you're still in a caterpillar mode, you just need to do that little bit of extra work and use that to your advantage when it comes to the power of manifestation that you have. It's when impossible becomes possible. When something that is like, oh my God, like uncertain becomes certain. When you thought that there was no path, becomes an important path that is gonna like split in two absolutely ludicrous, amazing ways. And this is what I'm talking about, my gorgeous Scorpione, and this is going to be so important. And on another hand, someone's mask is going to be fallen. The 1st, 2nd, and the 3rd September, I'm still there, my gorgeous Scorpione. This is so important. Somebody's mask is going to be fallen. You're going to become aware of like a somebody, this is not related to the person that I said before that you need to get like under conversation with. Do not get this confused with this person whatsoever. The mask that is going to be falling within first 3 days is going to be connected to the person that hasn't got anything to do with you like personally. But it has got a lot to do with perhaps like other people in your lives and other people in other people's lives, But most importantly, you're going to become aware of like the certain lies, because once the mask falls, it is going to like kind of shake you up a little bit. But then at the same time, this is going to be the time, very strong and important time, where the certain path is going to be paved as well. And once that path starts being paved for you, there is going to be a very strong sense of the possibility where you thought that there was no possibility. So this is going to be very positive for you, and it's going to reflect on you removing yourself from the situation that not necessarily serves you, that not necessarily you would find something really like kind of like important later on, but it's just going to redirect you. It's about an important redirection that is going to be connected to the certain sacrifice that you're going to need to make, but also it's going to bring the passion out of you. The passion that was missing, it's about to return after the first 3 days of September. And this is what I'm talking about. It's going to rejuvenate you. It's going to make you feel absolutely remarkable. It's going to make you feel alive. It's going to give you the sense of the strong and powerful direction where there was no direction at all. But most importantly, it's about this like a artistic power that you're going to feel, which is going to reflect on you so dramatically. But at the same time, it's going to be connected to you realizing exactly what you need to do. To some of you, it's going to be pretty much so to do like people who are working, like if you're working, you have a job, it's going to be connected to your job and the next steps, for example, what naturally you need to do, what naturally you need to make, which path you naturally need to focus on. And to those of you that are looking for work, this is also going to be remarkable, because you will see how weirdly and strangely things are actually connected, that you can actually become aware of the negativity and maybe lies, and the darkness, like a spiritual darkness around a certain people that don't mean anything to you, but at the same time, you will see the power of the moment, the power of being in that particular dimension that opens your eyes, but also redirect you at the best possible moment in time, because it's about the one wonderful inspiration. It's about doing the right thing. It's about trusting yourself. So for those of you that are looking for work, for example, or some kind of inspiration, there is some kind of really big moment going to come up here. You will know something very significant when it comes to the actual timing, and this is going to be so specifically important when it comes to the next 7 months indeed. So now suddenly, this September, October, November, December, January, February, March and April, so April is going to be like such a big moment that you are going to have. April, you're going to find yourself in a completely new stage, and you're going to be so grateful for your own bravery. You're going to be so grateful for wanting to kind of like try different things and step into new direction, because this is pretty much so with you trusting yourself and stepping into new direction. You have to swim against the current sometimes, and specifically in this situation, it's like when it comes to you feeling maybe a little bit low sometimes, a little bit negative, you need to know that same energy, that particular energy will work in your favor. Just don't think about it. If you want to do something, if you want to start something, if you want to make something, don't let this energy to take over, because it's going to block you. And at the same time, you just kind of focus on your path. And I'm saying this because a lot is going to be going on within the first 3 days of September, and this is something that you need to remember. You need to remember to kind of like set yourself like a little kind of direction, and just go for it without allowing your energy to be drained. And this is that like manifestation power that I'm saying, that you don't want to be drained, because September, it's actually really important months when it comes to you. There is a lot going to start being awakened within you. You've got the September, October and November indeed. And November is like a big mama, of course, but September is when everything starts. And when everything starts for you, it means that you're going to find yourself on a certain path. And this is one new path, a very significant path of your spiritual journey, path of your spiritual karma. So don't be surprised when you realize that, like, my Lord, like, certain things are coming to an end. Certain things came to an end in your life long time ago, but now suddenly they are going to be highlighted. So those are the moments and those are the times in your life that I need you to not ignore them, because you shall most certainly be rewarded for it, because it's connected to the beginning of the path, which means that you're planting spiritual seeds at the same time. In November, it's gonna be a big mama, because at the same time, not only this is your time, but this is the time when you're gonna have your spiritual awakening. And what you're doing throughout September, then and there, you will know exact outcome from it. So that's why be on top of things by being optimistic and by following your own path, by ignoring negativity. It is very, very important indeed. But then at the same time, you need to know that, this is, there is going to be very important information that you're going to have. And this information that you're going to have, it's going to be kind of like in between the 1st and the actual 11th of September. So in between the 1st and the 11th of September, you are going to have such a specific important information, like, oh my God, maybe it's going to be the phone call, maybe you're going to get a letter, maybe you're going to get like some kind of text message, maybe you're going to get an email. This specific message is going to be kind of part of you. It's going to come to you directly. But it's also going to come from somebody who's very important in your life, somebody who's very significant to you, somebody who's connected to you like there is no tomorrow. This is going to be the big mama moment, because you are going to be inspired. But then at the same time, it is just going to make you feel so good about yourself, because something is going to be highlighted about your personality. Something is going to be highlighted about your uniqueness. Something is going to be highlighted about you, who you are deep down. And this is something that is also going to be your strength, that you need to take on the next level. You need to serve it. You need to feed it. You need to give it more energy. And by feeding and giving more energy and serve it, I mean that you just need to focus on it. Focus on things that makes you feel good. So you just need to kind of pay attention to what is going to be pinpointed at you, because by the time you actually go, by the time you get to the 11th of September, you will know exactly what you need to do when it comes to, like, in terms of material success. and material and success. So those parts of your life that have been bringing you down and driving you nuts, you know, when it comes to like a maybe financial situation, you know, it's changing, you know, so this is going to start looking really good. But most importantly, by the time you get to the actual 11th of September, this is like, oh my God, you are going to have such a huge moment here, like a big, massive, enormous answer is going to come. Something that you have been waiting for, something that was slowing you down, something that was bringing you down, something that was making you feel really depressed. But most importantly, it's to do with the actual answer, first of all, an important answer. And I'm going back like the last 24 months that you have been kind of maybe all around the place because you have found yourself being stuck, you have found yourself being kind of negative, and that reflected on your energy. And this is completely normal and it's completely natural. But most importantly, you know, something is going to take place out of the blue on the 11th of September, and this is going to require your response. Okay, and the response is what am I actually talking about, because at the same time, without you even realizing, this is going to become very, very powerful direction. You are going to have a huge, enormous, massive spiritual awakening moment. This is going to shake you up. This is going to awake you. This is going to help you realize things like in a really weird way. And it is going to be like something is going to take place like in a spiritual terms, like maybe the certain spirit is going to visit you. Maybe something is just going to jump upside down like this. Maybe something is just going to fall off. It's the 11th of September, 12th and the 13th. You know, this is going to be very strong connection within these 3 days, you know, where you can have this visit from the spirit that I'm talking about. But it's also going to answer very important question to you. So you need to pay attention if something falls off and the energy just changes itself, you know, or something happens, or like maybe you can smell some kind of like maybe perfume or somebody who like used to be in your life and now just they died and they come through. It's not about that only, you know, there's always the reason why the spirits visit us. You know, you are going to be visited by the spirit purely because you're entering a very important spiritual path. Pay attention what I said. September is the time when the new path, new portal, okay, new energy, it's going to start opening and manifesting to you. By the 11th of September, it's going to play an important role. When everything is going to explode in the best possible way, it's actually going to be November. So now it's again 11. So like, oh my Lord, pay attention to 11. Any 11 you see throughout September, it's going to be like a God's gift to you. Just remember how powerful numerology is. Just remember how powerful numbers are. 11 is all about the spiritual awakening, new doorway opening, new path opening, new situation manifesting. A powerful realization is going to take over, and this in itself is going to pinpoint on a certain strength, okay, what you need to take on the next level. And that in itself is going to happen in the most mysterious and most bizarre and most weirdly way, and only to you this is going to be so important. And I say this because lots of people will be like, what are you talking about? What on earth are you saying? What did you just say? Like, it doesn't make sense. But to you, my babies, it will, because you have the power not only of manifestation, of the spirituality, of being really psychic, but also understanding things from a very deep and very high level, things that only make sense to you. Those are the most beautiful and unique gifts in your life that you need to take on the next level. So the certain gift is going to be needed to take on the next level, and correlation, it's going to be in November, when you will be absolutely like, my God, this is going to be your time, this is going to be your element, and you are just going to find yourself being on top of things. But also the certain changes that you will know that you need to make are going to be absolutely imminent. They're not only going to reflect like on people in your life, on you, they're not only going to be beneficial for you, to you, but they're also going to be beneficial later on for the people that are very dear and very important and very powerful in your life. Just remember that every single time you see 11, look at, I'll show you now. Every single time that you see 11 and 11 in your throughout September, specifically, this is so important because these numbers are one of the most powerful numbers. Like seriously, like, oh my God, it's all about you. It's all about your karma. It's all about your spiritual journey. It's all about where you are. It's all about things that you don't understand. It's all about the things that you really kind of can't get to terms with. It's all about the confirmation. It's all about a new portal opening. It's all about you understanding suddenly things that you didn't understand before, but it's also all about getting like a huge, big, enormous, big mama answer that is going to change absolutely everything. You will find yourself at the beginning. You will find yourself being really brave, and you will also find yourself after the 11th of September, you know, from the 11th of September until the end of that month, you're going to find yourself like being part of the many situations that are going to surprise you, but even most importantly and most weirdly and most bizarrely, at least how you're gonna feel, it's like where your power is coming from. Like, how come that you're feeling so strong? How come that you're feeling such a strong self-esteem? And this is when you need to give yourself in, because the more you follow it and more you give yourself in, the more powerful outcome you're actually going to have. You will want to explore what you want to explore and what you want to try, and you want to like kind of be part of. This is something most certainly not to ignore. Just remember, it's not only in between the 11th and September and the end of that month, but it's throughout that month. September, whenever you see 11:11 on your time, you look at there, you see 11:11. You look at over there, you see 11:11. You look at like maybe on your laptop, you see 11:11. You see on your on your iPad, you know, you see 11:11. Wherever, every single time when you see 11:11, you need to focus, because this is when your perspective is coming in, and you are being warned about something that you need to pay attention to when it comes to your path and the certain changes that you need to make. You know, you need to pay attention to what is going to happen within the next 11 minutes at the same time. Very important, but also very important to pay attention to what was on your mind, what is bringing you down, what is slowing you down, what is blocking you. You need to find an important correlation, and that is going to bring the essence out of it. Like, for example, what was driving you nuts, like in the morning at that particular day, you know, when you saw 11:11, also, it's all going to be connected. What was like kind of bringing you down, what was blocking you, preventing you to move on, what was at the time when you see it like on your mind, you know, and then within the next 11 minutes also see which opportunity is going to come to you. It's all about the new beginning, and it's all about the new start, and it's all about an important unlimited possibilities that you weren't aware of. So this is what I'm talking about, because this most certainly is going to set you free in so many different ways. I mean, in fact, the next 24 months are going to be absolutely mind-blowing in the best possible way. It is time to try as much as you possibly can, but also it is time to pay attention to things that have been that you have been persistently ignoring, and that affected you in a negative way. It slowed you down. So now this is going to be the time when this is going to help you to move on so much with your life. What else I was going to say, my gorgeous Scorpioni, when it comes to the actual 11th of September, just remember that somebody, you know, very important in your life, it's going to need your help on the 11th. And it's not only 11th of September, sorry, it's in between the 11th of September. On the 11th of September it's going to start, but it's going to go right until the end of that month. Somebody very important in your life is being misled, like hugely, annoyingly, like scarily. And that person is important to you. That person is significant to you. That person means to you so much. So somebody's been kind of misled so much with so many different aspects in their life, and it's becoming a little bit scary, but you're not aware of it necessarily, but you felt that something might have been wrong. There is something not quite right, and that person needs your help, because you have got that power. You have got that essence, that psychic, like a third eye that is going to be very wide open. It's always open, but you know the answer to something that person doesn't, and you need to step in, you need to step through, because that is literally going to save their life, like in so many different ways. You know, you need to explain something to them because they have been misled, and you are the one who needs to bring them down and show them the way, because they have found themselves in a darkness. This is going to get back to you like there is no tomorrow. You're going to have one of the biggest rewards of your life in so many different ways, not only emotionally but also karmically. karmically, because I repeat, this person means to you so much. So this is something that I need you to understand and also pay attention to, okay? The third important date, my gorgeous Scorpione, it's all going to be on the 27th, 28th, 29th, and the 3rd of September. The 27th, 28th, 29th, and the 3rd of September. These last few days are going to be absolutely remarkable because, you know, you're going to find yourself on a crossroad, you know, and this crossroad, it's really going to confuse you because at the same time, you know, you will really kind of find yourself on a crossroad, and the difference this time is going to be that you will feel like, my lord, you know, so far in your life you would go that direction, and now suddenly you're going to find yourself being completely drawn and attracted to different direction here. And it's like, this is so important to kind of like really follow your intuition, because now that other direction that is going to become kind of very attractive to you, it's something that you need to pay attention to, because this in itself is going to be really great, amazing, powerful turning point to you. It's only enough to start thinking about it in a particular way. I'm not saying, oh yeah, it's going to happen that day, blah blah blah. No baby, no. But it's the power of your mind and starting to just kind of like opening your mind and thinking about a different direction. This in itself is literally going to change everything. This is very exciting, and it's already going to start paving the way for you. And it's also going to help you to kind of come to terms with the problem and the situation that was slowing you down for a while. And when it comes to your past, there is going to be very strong correlation with your past. Suddenly you're going to find yourself feeling like a bit nostalgic, but then again, the missing part of you, it's going to be screaming, you know, to kind of notice it. And I'm going back a long time. Perhaps the missing child within you will want to come out, you know, the missing child within you will want to point you the certain part of your life that you need to bring in, because not only this is missing, but this is going to bring absolutely so much happiness and optimism and understanding and the realization that you need to return to something. You need to return to some very important path of your life, and this is most certainly going to make sense to you. This in itself, it's again going to be split into two particular options that are going to be absolutely mind-blowing, and suddenly you will feel and you will have the ability to understand so much about it when it comes to the actual timing. And something is going to take an additional 3 months, and most certainly it's going to be life changing, because it's going to inspire you, it's going to instantly make you feel really artistic, but it's almost instantly going to bring out so much in you when it comes to the energy and power that was sleeping for such a long time. But you will see only when you get to this moment in time how beautifully this is going to actually reflect on you. And then on another hand, this is going to lead towards you actually having an important moment when it comes to like a understanding situation, you know, upside down. You're also going to talk to someone quite like somebody very kind of close to you, and through this conversation there is going to be like some kind of like inspiration that you are going to have, and this is going to get you thinking, because you're going to be yet again reminded of something, of a specific part of your life that you should be paying attention to and that you should take on the next level, which is going to lead towards you having a really powerful moment of seeing the situation from the upside down kind of way, which is on another hand going to be obvious to you, like which exactly readjustment and adjustment you need to make. Pretty much so, the certain sacrifice that you are going to need to make, it's going to be obvious, and that in itself it's going to be such a star moment, the star moment when it comes to you, because it's almost immediately going to bring you like an excitement, optimism. It's going to make you feel really good, but above all, it's about an important opportunity with unlimited possibilities that is going to literally make your life so much better, so much more exciting, you know, and so much more kind of wonderful in so many different ways, because you're going to realize the power of listening to yourself, following your own intuition, but above all, you will this is going to be very beneficial to you, because you will know that you have found yourself yourself, you know, in a little bit of like a self-imposed prison, especially over the last 7 or 8 months. You know, you have been feeling this like there is no tomorrow. I can see you like a sitting down or standing and maybe not being able to move on left, right, backwards and forwards. But you need to understand that the power is within you. It comes from you. You have got the power, you have got the passion, and that passion is going to become absolutely obvious. So that in itself is just going to help you to remove yourself from the statuary mode, because now karmically that particularly came to an end. So this is why this is so important, because it's at the same time going to give you wings to fly. You will spread your wings. Not only you will kind of have a really important like a caterpillar butterfly moment, but at the same time this is all going to be leading towards you making a very important decision. And the decision that you're going to make is just going to kind of like be pretty much so connected to you changing things in terms of like maybe having a certain journey, because certain journey it's also going to be connected to this when it comes to the actual journey, maybe moving away, maybe having a little readjustment, you know, not necessarily moving away, but it's just about like kind of going from one location to another location, because some kind of traveling here is going to be playing an important role, because that traveling it's also going to be connected to the sorry, to the spiritual moment when it comes to you kind of like changing yourself, making a really big decision. This is all boiling down on you making really important decision, and it's more important than anything, because it is just going to help you recognize things that you actually need to change about your life and things that have been bringing you down. So it's removing yourself from this self-imposed prison, setting yourself free, but also making one of the best and most important decisions of your life. And it's going to involve some kind of a journey, but this is going to be important because it's going to lead towards an eternal success. So it's about you making decision within the last few days this September, and this decision that you're going to make, you will know that there's going to need to be a little bit of work that you're going to need to do around it, but most importantly it's going to be kind of a lead, not kind of, but it's going to lead towards an eternal success. Yes, there's going to need to be work to be done. Yes, you're going to need to change a little bit of things. Yes, you're going to need to make a certain readjustments, but then again, it's not going to take that long at the end of the day, because September, October and November, by the end of November, this is going to be like, oh my God, another spiritual awakening you're going to have. It's going to be on the 11th of November. Of course that we've got 1111. This is your number, my gorgeous Scorpioni, indeed. So this is when the second spiritual awakening is going to be. And on the 11th of November, specifically, you will know exactly. There is the answer that you're going to get when it comes to the actual timing. And that in itself, it's going to be so vivid. You're going to have a vision, a vivid vision that is going to create a picture. And not only there's going to be the missing puzzle that is going to land on that picture, and once that missing puzzle lands, you know, there is so much about this that you will be able to understand, because you're going to be able to connect from such a high and spiritual level. But this is going to be absolutely remarkable. So I'm telling you that, you know, this is just the beginning, and by the time you get to the 11th of November, this is when you're going to have such a huge, massive moment when it comes to your spiritual awakening. Yet again, another one, but now at this moment in time, you are exactly gonna know how long is something actually going to take, and the confidence is gonna kick in, the self-esteem is going to kick in, but most importantly, you will know exactly how long it's something actually going to take, and what do you need to do in order to get to the actual very important point and stage in your life. Okay, my gorgeous Scorpioni, when it comes to the actual health, it is very important for you to understand that now it's more significant than ever to keep on boosting your immune system. Very important indeed. Just remember what I said. Everything natural, natural, natural. Organic Camu Camu capsules, organic Camu Camu powder. And if you, organic Camu Camu, it's like a natural 100%, and it's probably one of the most powerful sources of vitamin C that you can possibly take and get and put inside your body. So if you go for the capsules, make sure that they haven't got any fillers or anything like that. So organic Camu Camu to take on daily basis, which is going to give you a whooping amount of vitamin C every single day, and also natural vitamin D, and also natural zinc. natural vitamin D and natural zinc, and also alongside try to drink as much as water as you possibly can throughout this month, because it's going to reflect on you in a very, very good way. On another hand, something like organic chamomile or organic dandelion tea is going to help you to flush out the toxins on a very, very spiritual level. And when it comes to your body, it's going to be absolutely remarkable, because it's going to be beneficial for every single part of your body. You know, these herbs are more powerful and more potent than some people can possibly imagine. So organic dandelion tea, organic chamomile tea. But please do not spoil things with the actual sugar. I can't stand sugar. It's really bad for you. So try to get like a natural honey, or try to sweet it maybe with the actual organic maple syrup is my favorite, because it's so good for you, because it's just gonna give you so much energy at the same time as well. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant, if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor. You just need to check with your GP. Only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications, my gorgeous Scorpioni, or not. So now I'm just going to see what is going to happen with those of you who are actually in relationship this month, my gorgeous Scorpioni. Now, you see, very important month for the actual couples, because something that you have been waiting for the last 7 months, something that was slowing you down, something that was preventing you both to be happy, but it's to do with your finances, it's to do with your financial situations. I'm not saying your financial situation was bad, but it was just connected to it. Perhaps you wanted to do something, but you were waiting for the certain amount of money, you know, so it's to do with the finances, and it's actually going to be good, and it was going on over the last 7 months. So this is going to be brilliant, very good news when it comes to that, and this is going to be absolutely remarkable, because you are going to find yourself, the couples, my gorgeous Scorpioni, in a very, very good place. And now you just need to remember that you need to be very wise when it comes to your money. You need to be very wise for the couples when it comes to the finances, because now this is going to require from you to go on the next level. But you, for one, must not rush, and for two, you have to trust your intuition. So it's to do with what you wanted to do, but you need to understand that you need to take one step at a time. And also make sure that your partner is also taking something for the actual immunity, to boost the immune system, something like organic camu capsules or powder, natural vitamin D, or natural zinc as well. And if your partner also need to check whether if they're on any other medications, pregnant or breastfeeding, they just need to check with their doctor or GP whether this can interact with their medications or not. But this is going to be rather beneficial for both of you. Now, when it comes to those of you that are single and ready to mingle, stranger in the night, Scorpioni in the morning, stranger in the night, pa-da-pa-pam-pam-pam, stranger in the night, Scorpioni in the morning. Do you know what that means, my gorgeous Scorpioni, apart from me being silly? This means that there is someone that you are about to meet this month, you know, and this person that you are going to meet this month is going to manifest around you for the first time ever, but it's also going to come through some kind of like a work, or it's going to, maybe if you are retired, for example, it's just going to kind of come to you at a time when you're maybe connecting and reconnecting with other people. Maybe when you kind of start something which is going to reconnect you with other people, you know, this person is going to be there. Those of you that are maybe like kind of looking for work, for example, this is going to happen at the time when you find some kind of work, and it's not going to be that long, because this is also signifying the fact that the work, for those of you that are looking for work, is absolutely coming, but there is going to require certain changes from you, and you to come out of yourself. So you have to trust yourself and not to bring yourself down by thinking negative. Just remember the power of your mind. It's absolutely everything, especially when it comes to you, my gorgeous Scorpioni, indeed. But so it's going to happen, you know, like if you're like retired, for example, you know, it really depends. Maybe you have a certain hobby that you go to and you're surrounded by the people. Maybe you have been thinking about a certain hobby. However, it's just going to kind of like really be connected to the certain work, whether this is like the actual work, or maybe this is to do with like some kind of hobby, but there are certain people going to be around it. And this is a very specific person that is going to walk into your life and it's just gonna inspire you to start with, but almost immediately you're gonna feel like, even before they inspire you, you're gonna feel a very immediate like kind of connection to that person. You will find them very, very attractive indeed, and on top of that, it is just some kind of inspiration that you're going to feel through that person. They're going to make you feel like kind of like a very much so artistic, and they're also going to share something very strange and very unusual with you, very unusual part of you. It's almost going to like kind of, oh yeah, wanting it to come out, because you will want to share it, because you will feel it. You will feel something that you will not be able to understand, but most certainly it's someone very, very interesting about to manifest in your life. And also at the same time, what I highly, highly recommend, my gorgeous Scorpion, is this gorgeous, gorgeous, absolutely beautiful chakra pendant. Look at this baby here. This is again back in stock. I didn't have this in a while indeed. And this was like, oh my God, very, very popular. Not only because they're so beautiful, and they're like a pure crystals and the pure silver, but also at the same time, they're very beneficial every single time when we feel low, every single time when we feel down, every single time when we feel lack of energy. That affects our way of thinking, that ultimately affects our like directions in life. And when it comes to September, October, November, and December, this is the time that every single time when you feel negative, I would highly suggest you to wear this gorgeous chakra pendant, because reflect on you in the most powerful way that crystals can possibly affect us, especially when it's such a perfect combination, because it helps you to keep your feet on the ground, but at the same time it helps you to keep on top of things, and it re-energizes you, but also it motivates you when you find yourself being confused about things, you know, when a lot is going on and you don't know who to trust. You know, this is something that brings the best out in you, because it reflects, it has got a very powerful reflection on your third psychic eye as well. This gorgeous little chakra pendant comes with a sterling silver setting and the sterling silver chain also, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, my gorgeous Scorpioni, you're also supporting my channel as well. My gorgeous Scorpioni, I love you so, so, so much. I'm sending you brightest blessings. Mwah. Lots of love, healing, peace, and light to every single one of you. So I'm sending you brightest blessings. Lots of love, healing, peace, and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye. Mwah.